The next thing that you need to do is to rename your layers, and then you need to group those layers together. The more organized that you can be from the beginning, the better it's going to end up. You're going to have a lot of layers in this document when you're done, and if you're not organized, it's going to get lost really easily. So what I'm going to do is start with the bottom, and I'm going to change rectangle 1. So if I double click on it, I'm going to rename this the clipping shape, because that layer is what everything is clipped to. I'm going to rename the photo llama photo. I'm going to rename rectangle 2 as the title bar, and then I'll leave film grain as it is. So if I were to just duplicate all of this over and over and over, I would end up with a really unorganized series of different layers. But one thing that you can do is to group these together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the top layer and then press Shift and go down to the bottom layer, and then from that, in that menu, there's a little icon of a folder, Create New Group, and I'll click on that, and it titles it Group 1. I want to rename that what that cell is actually going to represent, which is film grain. Okay, so perfect. I've done the hard work of setting it up, but now it gets pretty easy because I can just duplicate and change certain sections of each group. So I need to duplicate this layer by duplicate this folder, this group, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'll scroll up to duplicate group. So I'll call this number 2 for starters, because I'm not sure which effect I'm going to apply, and I'll click OK. So if I click on this little arrow next to the folder, it expands it, and this is really important. You'll notice that even though I have the folder selected, it's not selecting each layer. In order to select the layers, I'll need to go in and individually select them. In this case, I'll click the top layer, press Shift, click the bottom layer, and now everything is selected up here. So I'll make sure that I have my Move tool selected, and I'll just click and drag that over. Okay, that is how you can create new groups, as well as renaming layers. It's going to be important that you retitle this with whatever the effect is that you do for this next section.